Good evening, good evening. This is James Hopkins, and this is Your Words, Your Voice. This is our pilot episode of what we hope to be a wonderful podcast. And I'm here today with the guy that's helping to make it all possible, Mr. Socrates Garrett. Mr. Garrett, it's a pleasure to be working with you.
James, it's good seeing you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You and I had an experience in our run for mayor of the great city of Jackson.
That's right.
I enjoyed the competition and the spirit of the competition.
Yes,
and
sir.
I thought you brought some wonderful, magnificent ideas and concepts to that portfolio.
Okay, well, I definitely appreciate that. And likewise, you were a pretty tough contender, and you brought a lot to the table also. Okay. And it's good to be in a circle of people who already have the experience, that's already gone there, that's already been tried and tested. So I learned a lot from you. So if I decide to make that run again, I'm going to take a few pages out of your book if that's all right. So look, this is the pilot episode. What we're doing today, nothing is really structured. It's basically just getting in and just getting the feel of what it is that I want to do with this podcast. We're going to talk about current events. We're going to talk about things going on in the communities. We have a community organization here today that's going to talk a lot about what they have going on. But what I want to start off with, Mr. Garrett, is I couldn't start this show off without hearing something from the man that's making this possible. So I found out during the campaign that you had a little bit to do with the Mississippi Link. Tell us about that.
I did. I am the founder of the Mississippi Link some 32 years ago.
Okay.
And I had a publication before that, Today's Mississippi, Tomorrow South. And then it was the Missing Link, and then it became the Mississippi Link. And 32 years later, the paper is still going strong. The young lady, Jackie Hampton, is the publisher and co-owner of the paper. I thought at some point in time in my career that they could give it what it needed, more attention to the day-to-day requirements of running that business.
Okay.
And so, I did what we should do. I turned it over to the next generation.
Right. And if a lot more people take that initiative to kind of let things go sometimes and turn it over to the next generation, I think this city would be a greater city. I'm not here to politic or anything, but the reality is Jackson is getting younger. It's not getting older. And sometimes we have to just be willing to pass that baton. You don't have to get off the field, but pass the baton and let the fastest runner finish the race. So, look, kudos, my hat's off to you for, having enough unction in you to do that, instead of saying it's mine, and I'm not going to let it go. But look, I'm sitting here and I see this coffee right here.
Right.
What is Earth Blend Coffee?
Well, I'm what's called a serial entrepreneur.
Okay.
I try things. I invested in a business in Hong Kong, and it was a coffee business. And I said, if I'm going to send my money all the way to China, if I'm going to take a chance on a new business over there, at least ought to bring some of that concept and the product back to Mississippi.
Okay.
So I invested. I went out to Turkey and found the finest roaster that I could find, and we acquired it and had it shipped into Jackson, Mississippi, and now we roast coffee. And Earth Blend Coffee has a signature blend that you got to try someday. It's absolutely great coffee.
So this coffee is made in Jackson?
Well, it's roasted in Jackson. See, no beans for coffee is grown in the United States.
Okay.
So you can't go anywhere in America and get coffee beans. So they're either going to come out of China, they're coming out of Africa, they're coming out of Jamaica, they're coming out of places with the climate that's suitable to grow coffee.
Okay.
And so we import the beans in, and then we roast here in Jackson. Now, we are one of the only minority-owned companies that roast coffee in the Southeast.
Okay.
There may be 2 or 3, but there are not many.
Okay.
But it's done right here in Jackson.
Right here in Jackson. Hey, look, y'all want some good coffee? I'm going to try this coffee. I'm not going to say it's good yet, but I believe that's some good coffee. I'm just looking at it. So if y'all want to try some homegrown coffee, not grown, but home roasted coffee, try this Earth Blend coffee. I'm going to try it. And I'm going to be honest with Mr. Gary about what I think about it now, because I'm a coffee entrepreneur. I'm sorry, a coffee connoisseur.
Okay.
I'm a coffee connoisseur. Look, I love coffee. Okay. You know, sometimes I drink it too much. Probably why I'm talking a lot right now. But let me ask you something else.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about the campaign. We talked about the coffee. We talked about the link. Now, tell me about We Believe Digital, because
Right.
I've been trying to get a podcast for quite some time, you know. So I spoke with you, and boom,
Right.
here we are.
Right.
Tell us about, you know, how it got started, and other people that may want to do a podcast that's not going to, you know, cost them an arm, a leg, and a house note to do.
That's right. You know, I try things, and I keep up with what's going on, and I try to understand the trends. And so about 5 years ago, I realized that the world was moving digital, that we were going to have a society where digital was going to be the new way that we communicate.
Right.
And so in that I said, okay, let me start trying to develop a digital broadcast network.
Mm-hmm.
And so we brought in some engineers from Atlanta. They built out the studio. They set up the environment and chose the cameras, etc. And we had a podcast studio some 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were a little bit ahead of the curve.
Right.
Now,
okay.
we have not, and I'm guilty of starting too many things because I don't give enough time to any one thing. I'm
Right.
just divided because that's my nature. And so we have not grown this studio to its full potential.
Mm-hmm.
We are a streaming service.
Right.
We have, our streaming service is no different than Showtime or Netflix. Any of those are just streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
So we are identical to them.
Okay.
The key to it is the content.
Right.
Our show is being, your show right now is being seen all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
In over 139 countries, just Africa, Asia, all over the world. This show is being seen right now.
So I can officially tell everybody that I know, look, I'm worldwide.
You are
I can
worldwide.
do that.
You
Okay.
are worldwide.
All
And
right.
the internet does that.
Okay.
See, the internet leveled the playing field for the small business person.
Mhm.
You know, before, you know, we couldn't produce a TV show, but you
Right.
could have a TV show anytime
Right.
you like. You could do 12 o'clock news in Jackson any way you like.
Right.
So the infrastructure is here, and I'm glad you're taking advantage of it.
Okay. Look, I also saw where you have a radio station, an internet radio station. Now, that's something I didn't know. Tell me about the radio
Well,
station.
it just goes hand in hand. Technology is moving. I did not get in on the Bitcoin and that deal, and I tried, but I didn't follow it through. We know that digital is going to be the future. The terrestrial radio stations, towers and signals, that's going to fall to the wayside. Everybody gets their news and information when they want it now, not when you say you're going to provide it. So
Right.
it's on demand, so you can do anything you like. So we invested in an internet radio station, and it's right here in this same building, and it plays 24/7, some of the best music in the world, and it also brings podcast shows. Like your show will be seen anywhere in the country, but later on it'll be on the internet radio station and it'll play again.
Okay.
And so we think if we can connect streaming services with internet radio stations, that we'll have the foundation to be very successful.
Okay. So this would be something that would be a good idea for somebody, like I said, who's not trying to spend an arm and a leg and a house note. Get started with something like this, because they're not only going to be seen, like I said, on the internet, but they're also going to be heard through internet radio, and that's going to be constantly going on.
I have assisted and helped start more businesses than anybody that I know in this city. So in that trend, I have helped start podcast shows and internet radio shows. Herman Taylor III has got a great radio show on the internet that comes on Sunday afternoons. Grown folks, soul music.
Right.
He came in here and he worked with us and he understood and we taught him and he saw how the internet station worked and he went out and invested in it and now he's got his radio station in his home. So it doesn't take a lot of money to do it. But the way you be successful though with it is content. The quality of your content.
Okay.
If you can find that niche, both for the podcast and the radio station, you'll blow up overnight.
Okay.
You know, just to let you know how important it is, Spotify paid Joe Rogan $250 million to have his show on Spotify. So, because of his content.
Right.
So, if you get great content, think about Shannon Sharp with Cat Williams.
Right.
He had a great show. He got millions of viewers off of that one show. Behind that came millions of sponsors.
Right.
I mean, $1 million worth of sponsors.
Right.
And so it can happen like that. If you have the right guests and y'all get the right chemistry, your words, your voice can blow up all over the world.
All right. That's the plan.
That's a great plan. That's
That's
a great
the plan.
Depends on your content.
All right. We're going to have to get some content in here. How about that?
That's right.
All right. Well, look, Mr. Garrett, it's been a pleasure talking to you. And we're about to take a commercial shortly. So it's definitely been a pleasure talking to you. And we're going to move on to our next guest. But I would like you to come on, once I get the actual season started, give us a 30-minute segment if it's possible.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee. To order, visit earthblendcoffee.com. It's 6 o'clock and it's time for Bus Stop News, bringing you the Bus Stop Report live here in Jackson, Mississippi. The Bus Stop Report here on Bus Stop News. The Bus Stop Report is highlighting all of your local and national news, entertainment, news, and gossip.
All right. We're back to Your Words, Your Voice. I'm the host, James Hopkins. And this again is our pilot episode. It's not structured, but we're going to make it happen and tune in next week for season 1, episode 1, with my very first guest on the show will be Mr. Mega Evers Reloaded himself, Byron Brumfield. So y'all know it's going to be an interesting show and you don't want to mix it. Next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Before today, we have with us my guest co-host, Miss Deja. And then we also have Timothy White with Youth Outreach, and we're going to let them speak a little bit about what they have going on in the community right now.
Well, I'm Vanika Vore, Youth Advocate of Jackson, Mississippi, within the Youth Outreach Company. And we just specialize in making sure children are heard, also within entrepreneurship. So we try to give them an opportunity to work for themselves, make their own money. Because, it's hard working for other people and your pay not coming out how it's supposed to be paid. So we just give them an opportunity to make their own money, teach them how to finance, just learn how to be self-efficient, taking care of themselves, even if that includes like groceries, how to make their own money, how to drive, things of that nature. It's just all about being self-efficient within the company.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Tim.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you find Miss Venitra at?
Man, look, what it was like, 8 years old, man. Walking down the street, I had a place over there on Valley Street, a little cafe, and I was over there cooking some chicken. I had a little thing out there for my daughter, little space jumps and stuff, and I saw her and her sister and her mom walking down the street.
Okay.
And my daughter said, "We need somebody to play with. We need somebody," because she had a big old space jump. She had a water slide and stuff. And Vanika came on, like, "Can I come on now?" And that's how I met her.
Okay.
And I've been having her ever since. And she what, 18 now, 17?
17.
Okay.
Finna be 18. Ooh,
Bringing them
scary.
up the right way.
Man, I'm telling you. I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss Deja, how you doing? We gonna have to speak a little louder now. Can you put that microphone that way?
I'm
You gotta make sure they can hear you now. Miss Deja, tell us about your organization you with and how you become a part of it, and just tell me a little bit about it.
Yes. So the organization I'm with is called Reset Jackson. We go out, we help the elderly, we help the youth. Now we're trying to work with other organizations to make something that's big but bigger. You know,
Right.
it's not always about being the face
Mm-hmm.
of a mission. You can be behind the scenes and let the work be the face.
Okay.
So yes, so I'm really excited to work with Mr. Tim. I've heard so much and many great things about him and what he's done. I have seen the great work and hard work that you have been putting in. So what do you have planned within this week?
Oh, well, we got a toy drive. I mean, not toy drive. I got so much stuff. Toy drive. We have a back to school drive that we're doing. We're trying to give at least about 60 to 70 book bags away. Register in my program there. So we're going to try to give away some book bags and cook some hot dogs and hamburgers and give them some sodas and let
Make
them
them
have a good
laugh.
time.
We're gonna try to make them laugh too.
Yeah. We probably going to put that Easter bunny suit
No,
on.
I can't do the Easter bunny now. You don't have to say that. It's too hot to be an Easter bunny.
Man, they love him in that suit. Well, no,
Yeah.
your president was in. What's the guy?
Yeah,
He
my
was in
youth president,
youth
Zion
president.
Watson. Yeah, he
was
did.
Yeah,
It's too hot right now. I turned into rabbit stew out there in that costume now.
Man.
Yeah, we gonna do this toy giveaway. You got me saying toy. We're gonna do this back to school giveaway. It's gonna be on Saturday. The heat, but also I have something else I'll be doing that day. So we're gonna have it at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
and
We
we're
have
gonna
a building, so they'll be in the building with lights.
That's
and
right.
everything like that.
Yeah, so we're gonna be giving away book bags, school supplies, and if anybody want to donate to that, feel free to contact me on Facebook at Hopkins James or Reset Jackson. You can also contact Tim at the Youth Outreach Center,
Yeah, the company.
at the Youth Outreach Company. You can also contact us by phone, 769-251-9789.
Or you call 769-232-2397.
All right, and we're going to do that. We're going to have food for the children, just, giving back. That's what it's all about. And I am the CEO and founder of Reset Jackson. And Miss Deja is my Reset president. I also have a youth version of Reset Jackson, which we mentioned Zion Washington. He's in Chicago right now. He's going to be heading up my youth department. So we're going to venture out into some different things. Reset Jackson has been known for, just going out into the community. We're doing the freedom marches, the Stop the Violence rallies and parades and feeding and things like that. But we want to do that, but we also want to start just nourishing the minds of people. We want to change the culture of the way people think about themselves and the city, because as I said with Mr. Garrett, Jackson is getting younger and younger. And if we don't create young leaders for this city, then I'm afraid to think about where this city is going to be in the next 20 to 30 years. I can tell you now, I'm not going to be trying to run it in 20 to 30 years. So we need young people like Vanika to get out there and just take the bull by the horn. But if we're not teaching them how to do it, then we're sending them out there to fail. So Reset Jackson is going to really, really put a lot of time into training our young people, how to be leaders and how not to be afraid, how to be bold and say what you mean and mean what you say. But also be respectful in how you do it. And I think when you do that, people have to respect you. They have to respect how you come, how you look, and how you approach. So that's what's going on with Reset Jackson. So we're going to do this Saturday. have going on?
Yeah, man. We've been to take 20 kids to OWA.
Okay.
That's an indoor water park. Man, I tell you, we've been out there washing like 100-some cars out there in the heat and fundraising, and we almost at our goal. $2,200 left, and we'll be hitting the highway.
$2,200. Okay, and that. Where is that located?
That's in Flowey,
Foley, Alabama.
Alabama.
Foley, Alabama.
Stuff, so it's gonna be fun.
It's been a very adventurous time to say, but it's also been a very educational time because I have learned so much not only about myself, but about my city and about other children that we work with, because it's not only about us, it's about structure and structuring us to be better people. So when we're old enough, we already know how to navigate certain things within our lives. And I also just want to feel for Jackson, do better for Jackson, because right now it's just a lot going on. And I pray that the new mayor proposes a better situation for Jackson, because if you can have a better situation within the environment, it'll be better for the children.
So what do you think some of the issues were? And not just saying with the previous mayor, but just period with Jackson, that you feel like the new mayor can come in and kind of help change?
Well, you can't change the people,
right?
But you can change what happens within the community. Like the crime I wouldn't say Jackson's like a dangerous place. Like, I live here, but it can definitely be better, especially with all the homeless people and all the drugs. I don't like seeing it, because it can be children at the park and somebody's snorting fentanyl right beside them, and that's just wrong.
So you would be someone that would be for security at
also
public
education.
parks.
All these empty school buildings can be reused for something like a recreational place for children to go during the summer, because most of them are in the house not doing anything. Like, there can be what's it called, trade jobs for young people, like cosmetology or wellness. Like me, I have my own business. I'm just looking to expand it more. And if people were more interested in helping the youth and not themselves, then it would be a better situation for just the overall population in Jackson. Because I ride by abandoned places all the time, and it's sad, because this is our capital. And you would expect better in the capital than other surrounding cities. And it's just like, I go to Jackson, why they have this, and why we don't have this and they have that.
Right.
Like, it's just sad. So if it was anything, I say the community do better than the politicians, because they do all the work. I mean, you have people out here giving the homeless food when you should be giving the homeless food. It just don't make sense to me. So I feel if we can get our young people to feel like they can have a voice within it, then they can do things for the community, because we're the ones growing up living in the city.
Okay,
So,
let me ask you a question. And there's no right or wrong answer to this question, but I hear a lot of people say, when we talk about giving and doing for the community, I hear some people say, the Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat. What's your response to people that say that, when you say, well, I think they should be doing more for the homeless, or, they should be doing more to help people out? And the people who say, well, I'm not going to do anything because the Bible says if you don't work, then you don't eat. What's your response to that as a young person?
Well, some people do not have the necessities or the I can't figure out the word.
Abilities.
Ability to have somebody to help themselves. So, like, I wanted to have a homeless rehabilitation center where we help them get them off drugs, make sure they're clean, and then we rehabilitate them. That means put them in housing and things of that nature. But you're taking care of yourself. You're paying your own bills. You're teaching yourself how to rehabilitate rehabilitate yourself back into the community. Not only when you get more homeless people off the street and they're working for themselves, they'll bring more money and revenue within the city. Like if you don't have to think harder to work smarter. It's just
Right. So basically what you're saying is the same people who are saying if you don't work, you don't eat, those should be the people who are giving them opportunities instead of beating them down.
Yeah.
That's what you call a truth bum. We're going to have truth bums on here. Instead of sitting around picking it, he's this, he's a bum, he's that. If you have the resources, but you're not willing to use your resources to at least go out and say, hey, look, I have this lawnmower. If you want to make money, come work.
Just give them an opportunity
Give
to
them
say yes or no.
Give them an
To
opportunity.
say yes or no.
Yeah.
But so many people say that. But when they tell me that, well, if a man don't work, he don't eat. I also say, blessed is a man that considered the poor. You know, so there are two sides to that. You know, it just depends on which side you choose to take. You know, but my heart is about giving. My heart is about love and bringing people up, because Jesus was a humanitarian. He wasn't a businessman. He wasn't a politician. He wasn't a millionaire. He understood that in order to make the world better, he had to make people better. You know, so that's what we try to do with Reset Jackson. And I love what y'all doing. And I just had to ask you that because you're saying a lot about, you know, taking care of the homeless. And there are going to be people who may see this that works with the city and who may have resources, but say, well, I'm not going to feed that bum if he don't work. And there's a reality of it that some of them have been so high on drugs for so long, they lack, like you said, the mental capacity to actually do a job and understand, you know, the job that they're doing. I'm going to ask you, Deja, what's your thought on that when people say if he don't work, he don't eat?
Well, my thought is to piggyback off what you said. You know, people can have all of the resources and feel like they in this high position or they have everything going for themselves. But reality is, it can be them today and you tomorrow. You know, life happens for everybody. It's just how you navigate it.
Right.
Which it can be a lot of different ways with a lot of different people if you don't have the resources, the people, or like just the mindset to overcome it. I feel like with you guys, you go out in the community, you show love, you do all of the work with the children, but how do you feel like what's the next big thing? Like, you know, like I feel like with our president, he's real big on saying, you know, Jackson has an identity crisis, which is really true. It's not only we have to work with the youth but the youth is the voice now, but it's like the older generation is being influenced by the younger generation, which we are 2 generations in here right now. So what's you guys' opinion on what's going on?
After this question, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to have 10 minutes left, and we're going to close out after that. So after you answer that, we're going to take a short break, everyone. So last voice you'll hear before the break is going to be Mr. White.
Well, we with our work training development, what we do with youth outreach, we go out and give the homeless a job. Anyway, we go to Broomfield. We went with us last time to feed them and everything, and we go and pick up like 15, 16 adults, and we let them pick up trash, wash cars. I had a building on Valley Street. They stripped the whole roof off of it. We put a new roof on it and everything like that. So we give them an opportunity to become successful, to make money, and to be talking like they homeless. Some of them love to work. You just got to give them an opportunity.
To give them an identity.
Right.
Yeah.
Let them be somebody and just not look down upon them.
Because I promise you, y'all, I pick up these folks from the Opportunity Center, Broomfield, and all that, and you got electricians, you got plumbers, you got mechanics. These folks that's in the building or sitting outside that you can just pull up and say, hey, man, I need my brakes changed. And they be like, yeah, man, come on, man, I'll do it. You know, they be like, do it. I'll do it for $40. No, I can't give you $40. I can give you $100 what you worth, you know what I'm saying? But you got an electrician. The guy literally came to my building, y'all, and wired my whole building up.
Homeless.
Now I can get him a job with some kind of electric company, You know what
But
I'm saying?
they're
And
not
make them
gonna
a
look
lot.
at him because
They're
he's
gonna
homeless.
look at him different. They're gonna look at him different. Like, whoa, man, he stay on the street. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Hold that thought. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with your words, your voice.
It's 6 o'clock and it's time for Bus Stop News, bringing you the Bus Stop Report live here in Jackson, Mississippi. The Bus Stop Report here on Bus Stop News. The Bus Stop Report is highlighting all of your local and national news. Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup.
All right. We're back, and we're having some great conversation. I'm James Hopkins. This is Your Words, Your Voice, with my special guest, Mr. Timothy White, and the Youth Outreach Company. And also my guest co-host today is my president of Reset Jackson, Ms. Deja. And before the break, we were talking about the homeless and some of the true talents and skills that they have, but they aren't really given a chance because they're homeless. The question that was asked was, how do you feel when people say, and as organizations, we do a lot, to help the homeless. How do you feel when people say, if you don't work, then you don't eat? And they use that, from the Bible, but I'll turn around and say, well, blessed is a man that considered the poor. How do those two work together without hurting someone, but also without allowing someone to take advantage of you? So, Tim, you just spoke about a homeless guy wiring an entire building.
Man, the entire building, man. I'm talking about from the light fixture to the big box in the back, you know what I'm saying, that control everything. I didn't know what he was doing. All I know, he just told me, hey, you're going to need this, you're going to need this kind of wire, you're going to need this. And then next thing I know, I had lights on.
So let me ask you this. Did you have any kind of intimate conversation with him as far as, how did he end up in that position? Well,
he told me that, you know what I'm saying, first his house burned down and his wife died, and then his daughter got killed, hit by a car on Highway 80. And he said that's how he ended up in Boonfield.
Life.
Yeah.
He just
dealing with
life.
Yeah, he said his house burned down. And I was like, okay, well, how can I help you? So I gave him a lot of information about housing and stuff like that. And he worked for me for like a whole month, making $200 or $300 a day. And next thing I know, he was gone. I went over there to Broomfield to pick him up. He wasn't there no more.
Probably started him a new life.
Yeah. Took that money.
And that's what I think. There are, some people out there who really just need a chance.
Yeah.
Now, you said something during the break about people that don't want to do it. Go ahead and repeat what you said during the break.
I said some people don't want to be helped. Like, we feed the homeless most of the time, and when we go out and we give them opportunities, they be like, no, I'm good. And it's just be like, well, I can't force you to get help if you don't want to, because you may like being homeless, because you won't have to deal with paying your own bills, having to worry about being self-sufficient. That's fine.
And that's a sad reality too, that there are, some of those out there, who are like that, and it's a reality. It's a sad reality,
Sometimes I can understand because bills do be high, but once
you
you
don't pay
want
no bill. You
better,
don't know how high bills
I pay my phone bill.
Make sure she
Don't
pay
pay
her
no
bill.
bill.
Phone bill.
All right.
The least I pay is a cable bill, maybe
Okay.
Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But like I was saying, most people don't want to be helped, and you can't force them to be helped. But people out there like me, I live in poverty. Well, I wouldn't say poverty, but I live in the hood. And people might look at me and be like, well,
what do you consider the hood?
Well, me, I don't represent the hood. I represent
hood?
class. But
Do you know that the hood is something that was forced on us
it's
through
black
rap music and
people.
stuff like that?
Yeah.
You know what hood is short for, right?
Ghetto?
Neighborhood.
Oh, well.
Every neighborhood is the hood. But we've been fooled through our music that we listen to, through the people that they put out in front of us as our spokespeople and leaders. and they've given us that term hood. So we think if it's black, it's the hood. If it's Jackson, it's the hood. Every neighborhood is a hood. Hood is just short for neighborhood.
Hey, you would know.
Truth bomb.
Look, you'll be surprised. Madison got a hood.
Madison is a hood.
Definitely got a hood.
Eastover is
Pearl-
a hood.
Pearl
It's just a
got a
nice
hood.
hood.
Right.
Pearl got a
Everything,
hood.
yeah, everything is a hood. So don't let that terminology, just create your everyday
A
life.
lesser part of Jackson. I'll say a lesser part of Jackson, but I don't let my environment influence me to be less than that.
Right.
Because I can be more than that.
Right.
And I don't let people influence me to be less than what I can be, because I know I have potential.
Right.
And it's other people out there that have potential. People don't give them the platform to do so.
Right.
Which is sad, because you might look at me and be like, well, look at her hair. Her ain't done. Her nails ain't done. My hair don't have to be done for me to represent what I know is best.
Preach.
And it's like, okay, my hair might not be done, but I can be more, well, I can say more than what you could probably say, represent it better than what you can do.
Right.
So
And you
it's
got
okay.
Look, prime
27-inch hair and nails
Okay.
this long and can't talk.
Right.
Prime example. She went to the Clay Edwards show
Mm-hmm.
and got announced to be the youth
I am
magazine.
going to be on the magazine.
Yeah, youth
Go ahead on then. Good job.
Yeah, we finna be the youth magazine. I'm finna
Look,
get her hair there.
we
Make
gonna
it
have
up.
some hand clap sounds coming out there next week. When we do that, he gonna put those claps in there.
To
Okay.
piggyback off what she said, I was not like political in the community whatsoever. Like I was uneducated for one, but it wasn't something that was interesting because I wasn't in the life, right? But once I got in the life being with Mr. Hopkins, a whole new world, whole new atmosphere presented itself. Like we were in rooms that I never felt like I would be in, but once I was in those rooms and the people that I thought I would never have conversation with, I was. And you don't have to have all of the money, you don't have to have the status, and you don't have to look like they look, but once you enter that room, you always told, I feel like as any woman should teach their daughter and any man should teach their son, when you walk into a room, any insecurity that you feel about yourself, don't let anyone else see.
It's gotta go. That's
You
gotta
gotta
be your
walk
room
in.
when
It
you
has
walk
to
in.
be your room.
It has to be your room.
And he was like, it's like you meant to be in there. At first, I'm like, I'm scared. I don't want to talk to nobody. But now we go out. Even if I'm scared, I swallowed it, and I'm like, "Hey, my name is Deja. This is what I stand for.
Yeah, she do more
how can we
talking than me
benefit,
now.
and help each other?" So I'm really excited because I love the way you talk. I love the way you present yourself. That we're working with you guys, because for one, like you said, we were out making money. You don't have to look like money, and it's so crazy. I started laughing because he told me the same thing. Money don't talk.
Let me tell you something.
No.
Money definitely don't talk.
Intelligence
These folks
does.
see us, they be like, they gotta have money because every day they out. Every day they out. And I tell her when I first seen her, you should have seen her. She was shy. She wouldn't do our news interviews. She wouldn't say nothing. But when she started getting used to it and started getting comfortable can talk to a new reporter and without no hesitation. Go to a podcast, no hesitation. Clay Edwards was like, man, can I have her back on the show? You know what I'm saying? So if we can get kids and take them out of that shy environment, take them out of that poverty environment, put them behind this, put behind the mirror seat, because I put them behind the mirror seat. You was there when I put them behind the mirror seat?
They were at City Hall.
They were sitting at City Hall,
In
behind
fact-
the mirror seat. Yeah.
In fact, I remember that Kenneth Stokes had this special meeting just for that purpose.
Yeah.
And he had the young people
Sitting
sitting
behind-
where all the council members sit. I remember that.
Yeah, you sit up in the president's seat. She sat up
And she
in the
sat in the
president's seat.
president's seat. So let me ask you this, Tim.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna say this because we're getting ready to close out, and we got a couple minutes. This is what I want to say. I have to speak truth. Sometimes what I say upsets people, but it's my truth.
Yeah.
When I started Reset Jackson about 4 years ago, about 4 years ago, I was with Byron Brumfield.
Mm-hmm.
He's with Mega Evans Reloaded, Mission and the Movement. He'll be here next week. Y'all make sure y'all tune in because he has a lot to say. When we first started, you had this organization here, this organization there, this organization there, this organization there. My vision for Reset Jackson was to bring all of these organizations together because there's strength in numbers. Mm-hmm. Once we all started working together, and you're a witness because you were a part of this cohesive unit,
yes,
we started bringing real change to the city.
Yes,
things really started happening. So I ran for mayor. Everybody knows I ran for mayor. Had a great time doing it too. But since I've been done with that campaign and I'm back out into this Reset Jackson, I've noticed a huge shift in what was going on before then. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know why it shifted or what's going on, but we're back to this organization, that organization, this organization, this organization. And I'm saying today, to any organization that was working together, we have to continue to work together because united we stand, divided we fall. I could care less about who gets the credit. I could care less about who gets the money. But if we're going to continue to make this city grow and change the way we were doing it, because we got together for everything. It doesn't matter if it was giveaways, if it was marches, even with, we stayed on the news. They called for the news.
Man, we
one person get a news interview. They call everybody, hey, let's get this interview going. Yeah. You know, giving out bikes. Yeah, we with Better Men Society. We ride through the streets, you know, during Christmas like Santa Claus. Yeah. And all of those things, when people see that the organizations were united, it brought a whole nother, just a whole different feel over the city. Yeah. When you go places and people be, oh yeah, you be with this person or you be with that person. But I've noticed this shift in the last 6 months. And it's almost like everybody's just clawing for self or whatever it is. You know, and everybody's not going to want to hear that. But I'm telling you my truth. Mm-hmm. You know, and if you don't want to accept my truth, then, you know, that's on you. Make it make sense. Yeah. Why are we separated again?
I'm here.
Well,
when we were together and we were bringing about real change.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, to comment on it, like she said, a person not gonna want to do anything they don't want to do, right? Mm-hmm. For one, I feel like, and like you said, everybody feel like you got all this money or they on the outside looking in, though, right? So if you on the outside looking in, they like, okay, we doing all this together, but this person getting all this recognition, but you doing stuff outside of the group and mm-hmm. you wanting to push and you wanting to do more than the other person, mm-hmm. but this person want all of what you have in the moment. It's mm-hmm. like, okay, well, I'm gonna go do my own thing so they can call on me, or
but
they
you
can
have
give
to
me
do
this
your
on,
own thing,
you know?
though. We still have to do our own thing individually. My thing is, where are those times when all of the organizations come together? I'm having a back to school giveaway. He's having back to school giveaway. Mission of the Movement having a back to school giveaway. Better Men Society having a back to school giveaway. Mm-hmm. You have politicians that we work with having back to school giveaways. What happened to us doing this stuff like those type of things I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. We should be united and stuff like that, because the more unity that they see, the more they can believe in what's going on. Because the word about nonprofits now is they all chasing money, mm-hmm. you know, but we have to put that to rest. Of course, we need money to operate, but with Reset Jackson, I'm telling you, it never has been and never will be my top priority to get a grant. Yeah. My top priority is change. Yeah. And, you know, God gonna help me regardless of how everything else works. But don't turn into money chasers to the point where you forget the mission. Because when the money becomes important, then the mission is just something you're doing on the side. Yes, sir.
Well, I think they scared to work. Mm-hmm. You know
that
what I'm saying?
I mean,
like, when we first started, we was out there feeding the homeless. We was out there doing this and doing that, doing this in the cold. Mm-hmm. Passing our bikes and everything. But then when people start getting on the news, people start getting on the newspaper and it's UPS, USA, whatever, today, whatever, then everybody starts splitting up. But see, me and you, we still out there feeding the homeless. I feed 500 kids every day between 7 to 12. You know what I'm saying? I got taking kids out of town. I'm doing my tutoring thing. You helping me with that. You know what I'm saying? We still doing the work. And what they doing?
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not gonna badmouth them, anything. But the only thing I just want to say, don't lose focus on the mission. We getting ready to close out. I'm being told I have another 1 minute left, so I got it. This my last minute. I want to announce that there will be another back to school giveaway. It's going to be held at the Creative Cuts. It's the one right next to Piccadilly. It's a barbershop next to Piccadilly across from Metro Center. Creative Cuts. And Jermaine, he's opening up his barber. He's going to be giving away free haircuts. We're going to be doing that with Better Men Society, No Greater Love, and a couple other organizations. They're going to have like space jumps and things of that nature. Bring your children out. That's going to be Sunday starting at 2 o'clock across from the Metro Center. And I'm going to close out with this. Remember who you are. Remember why we do what we do. If what you do doesn't make anybody better, it's not making you any better either. I'm going to close with that. We'll see you next week. Remember my guest next week, Mr. Byron Brumfield, Meg Evers Reloaded, A Mission and a Movement. I'm James Hopkins, and this has been Your Words, Your Voice. Thank you.